got me some Chinese food. It's a mess, see? It's messy. We moving. We really moving, for real. Veggie egg rolls that were free. I got some chicken egg rolls that I paid for. Orange chicken. They said this is New York style Chinese food. So I don't know what that means, but I'm about to find out. I'll make a plate and come back. All right, y'all. I didn't even put everything on my plate because my plate is not big enough. Here's the fried rice. I got veggie fried rice. They put broccoli in it. That's good. I didn't mean fried rice. I meant chow mein. That's good. They seasoned it well. This is from a place called Golden Palace. Yeah. Pretty good. The rice is good. I could use some sesame oil. A little more sesame oil, but it's good. I'm sorry, y'all. This isn't so much of a mukbang. I'm eating while I talk to y'all. This is Put my leg up. Because this hold on. So $2024. I'm glad it's over. I don't ever want to see 2024 again. Anything that I left in 2024, anything like negative, I mean, experiences or attitude, whatever, staying in 2024, any decisions, staying in 2024. For me, I kind of want to do a year in review. I noticed that a lot of you guys, some of y'all, not a lot actually, some of you guys just cannot get over my ex, obviously. Because you keep coming over here while I'm trying to move on. I'm living my life. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing but make sure that my son and myself were okay. Y'all don't know how to stop saying whatever, and I don't expect it. Like, I don't expect it, but this is what I'm gonna tell you about it. Whatever reaction y'all trying to get, y'all not gonna get it out of me anymore. And it shows. That's obvious. Because thank God I don't have the same reaction. I don't feel the same way. You know, 2024 was really hard for me. There was times where I didn't even want to be here. And not to say I was trying to do anything to myself, because I would never. But it was so hard and stressful. It was so much that I was tired. You know, I was tired, and I just felt, you know, different emotions. When what happened at the end of 23 happened, the breakup, I ain't even gonna say like the breakup, when the breakup happened, other things came out of me. It wasn't only about that. It was, I started remembering things from my past that I had never remembered. These things I'm gonna tell you guys are personal, but I'm not a personal person, if that makes sense. I'm very open, and I don't care. I don't care about being judged, obviously, because even though people talk crap, I still tell my business, because deep down, really don't. I think it helps somebody, you know, and I'd rather help somebody and people, you know, talk crap about me than to not help somebody. It's not a big deal. What's important to me are the people who are around me that I love and who are supportive and positive and all that. So it's like in probably around 2019, 2020, I had this, you know, because I started YouTube in 17. You know, I had a job, but at the time I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I was watching B-Love. You know, me and the person I was with at the time was like, hey, let's do YouTube. So we started doing YouTube, the couples channel or whatever. But me liking food, I looked and I was like, okay, I can eat. Wasn't ready to do seafood boils, y'all, because I didn't even like seafood boils when I first started YouTube. I didn't like them at all. But we saw B-Love, and, you know, it was like, hey, let's try the seafood boils. They look like they're doing good. We did a seafood boil, and it went off, right? So still, I was still working at my job because YouTube wasn't paying yet. So I'm like, whatever. And then at some point, a check came. The check was $400. Continue my job, of course. Then another check came. That check was like $1,000. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, maybe I will quit my job, because it was hard for me. I was going to work for 8 hours a day, but I was actually traveling 1 hour to and from work. So I was gone 10 hours a day, and then I would have to come home and do a video. And at the time, I also edited. Y'all didn't know that, huh? I edited in the beginning. But you know, the Pisces, they like doing stuff by themselves. They like to do stuff. So I'm like, hey, you want to edit? Cool. Go ahead, sweetheart. Do your thing. Do your thing. So this video will be not all over the place, but I'm going to be moving around because I drop food everywhere. Okay. So I went ahead and I kept my job. And then another check came that was like more. I think it was like 25 or 3,000. So I was like, yeah, I'm about that life. So I quit my job. At the job, I had only had the job for about 6 months, 8 months maybe, something like that. Maybe a year. I don't even think it was a year. And I had just finished my degree. It was a computer degree, and I got my first computer job. So I was really excited about it. But YouTube was paying. So I'm like, well, let me just go to YouTube. Not something that I wanted to do. It was not in my plan. It wasn't in my cards. Oh, it was in my cards. It wasn't in any of my plans. But once YouTube started going and I started seeing the money, I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good money. This is nice money. The money grows so quickly and exponentially if you do well, or if YouTube catches. Because there's a lot of people who do well on YouTube, and YouTube just doesn't see it, just doesn't show it. So quit the job, start doing YouTube. It was fun. It was fun at first. Did a lot of, you know, couples channel stuff, and, you know, had fun pretty much. I was tired sometimes, And that's why I had to quit, because I was like, okay, I can't do both. I got to choose. Should I choose this? Should I choose that? And I was like, okay, you know, YouTube is paying us. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna quit my job and do YouTube. And if anything, I'll just go back to work if need be. You know, so that was that. We doing YouTube for years, right? 17, 18, 19, 20 comes around. Mind you, this was YouTube every single day, pretty much every single day. And YouTube can burn you out. It's every day, it's all day. And then it was editing. That was okay for me, like in the beginning when I was still able to hang out, go out, have a good time, enjoy my life. But once it became like, I'm the type of person that I don't care I do like to be comfortable. I do like to have money, don't get me wrong. But I don't need to be rich. Not in money. So when I do things and I'm making money, you know, that's cool. But if I am not enjoying myself and I'm making money, then it doesn't matter how much money I make. I'm not happy. You know, I have to be happy. I have to enjoy my life. You know, I got into anyway, so 2019, 2020 comes around, and I'm like, to the person I was with, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not getting enough attention. We not doing nothing. We sit in the house every day, all day, doing videos. Then we drinking. And then that's it. You know, not a lot of going out. But anyway, so for me, it was 19 or 20 when I like talked about it. And I'm like, hey, you know, this is not working for me. I'm not really happy. This is too much work, too much money. Not too much money, because it ain't too much money. I had to explain that I wasn't happy. And nothing was done about it. It was just like, okay, we still got to make money, you know, which is very true. But I think that, you know, you still have to, there has to be a healthy balance, you know, there has to be a healthy balance in life, in love, and friendships, and, you know, everything. Everything has a space. Everything has time, everything has whatever. So anyway, so my point in saying all of this is to say, from 2019 or 2020, I brought things up because I was unhappy with the, you know how it was. It's just like YouTube all day long. I don't need to be rich. I don't need that much money. What I need is love, happiness, friendship, honesty, companionship, fun, you know, a future, evolvement, stuff like that. And I remember around 22, and that's what I posted on my community post, you guys. Around 22, I made a decision, and I tried. I was just like, okay, I'm not happy, I'm trying, and nothing's working. So 23 rolls around. I asked for change, and nothing happened. I will say this, that everybody has to change. Everything has to change, you know, whatever. I made the decision that I made. It wasn't in haste. It had been many, many months, a couple of years where I complained or I talked. And then finally, whatever, things ended up the way they ended up. So I didn't know that when it ended up like that, that I was going to take it so hard. I didn't know that things from my past were going to come up, because they had never come up. I've always been and it's funny because some people say on YouTube, oh, Tasha trying to act hard or this, whatever the case is. I've never acted. I've never lied to y'all. I've never talked. I mean, any crap that I talked about, you guys, is to you. You heard me cussing people out on lives or on the videos or saying whatever I say. When I do my lives, like my live streams, I don't get paid for live streams. I go on live streams and I spend hours on live streams because I actually enjoy it. I actually enjoy socializing. I like talking to people. I'm a people person. You understand? So, what happened in what happened was, because nobody's ever told. What happened was, I was no longer aligned with the last person. There was no longer an alignment because I was aligning with myself. I was evolving or trying to, but I got to a level where I couldn't move anymore. I couldn't go up. I couldn't do anything. So what happened to me, I don't know about anybody else, but what happened to me when I got to this level and I felt like, this was around 20, this was in the 20s, 21, 22 maybe, probably was 22. I got to a level where I was like, I don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore. I'm tired of drinking every other day because it was 3 days a week. I didn't want the lifestyle anymore. If the lifestyle that I had with all this money was going to not help me grow, like I didn't want it. I didn't want it anymore. I needed something I felt stagnant. I felt like I was going back. I remember family members were asking me, Tasha, what's wrong? Tasha, what's wrong? They could see. It was a party I went to, a family party. Wasn't trying to, I do my best to, like when I'm not happy or sad or something, I try not to be around people because I don't want people to see that. Because it's very hard for me to act. I'm not a liar. I'm not an actress. I don't do none of that stuff. I don't do it for YouTube. I don't need to be fake for YouTube. I don't need to pretend or none of that. Because if I do, when I turn the camera off, I'm still the same person. And then I'm going to feel like a liar or something. I don't know. Anyway, so baby, you want some food? This video might be kind of long. Went to this party. My family, it was actually, anyway, asked, what's wrong? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Next family member, not right then, but later, like a couple hours later, because it was, are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. And okay, so that happened, and that was a certain month. Okay, that was actually 2 months before the break up. That was in May. So then June comes around. This is 23. June comes around. My dad dies. I love my dad, but my dad did have some issues. My dad was a predator. Not against me, but against somebody else. And so it was a hard relationship. I found out when I was younger, when I was like 10 or 11. So it was hard to be in the house, to love somebody that you also despise, So it was hard. And I'm telling y'all this just to give you the whole picture and to help some of y'all. Because when I finally got out, I was okay. It took me a long time to be okay though. And I'm just saying okay, not great, So that was something that was hard for me because, my sister called, a sister that I don't speak to, much. And she was upset because that was somebody she loved a lot. And so she was upset. That hurt my feelings a little bit because I didn't talk to her, and then she told me, oh, he wants to see you before, because I knew kind of a few days before he was going to go that he was going to go. So, or not a few days, I got a phone call and she was like, oh, he wants to see you before he goes. Da, da, da. So I'm looking up that day. I'm looking up plane tickets because my dad lived in Maryland. I'm looking up plane tickets to go see my dad. And then she ended up calling me, my sister, at 4 a.m. the same morning, or the next day, 4 a.m. and saying, oh, he's gone. So at the time, I was already going through my relationship thing. I was unhappy and I wanted, now when I say I was unhappy, I asked for better. I asked to fix it. I wasn't trying to just leave. I was trying to fix the relationship. I was trying to go to counseling. I was trying to do stuff like that, but nobody wanted to do it but me. So when my dad passed away, even though I was not devastated by his death, I think that I was. In another way, it brought something else out of me. So when that happened, I was like, I'm not sure if that happened in June or it happened in June. I was like, I was like, I can't do this. I cannot live my life unhappily. You know, I thought about my father. Even though he was older, I didn't want to go like that. I don't want to go without having experienced things that I want to experience, or do things that I wanted to do. I just wanted to, there was different things I wanted to do. We decided that we needed to separate. We needed to be apart for a little while. We would take a break, not break up. And, you know, I went and stayed at my brother's house for a few days. And I said that I would go. I wanted to get an Airbnb and go stay there for a little while. I actually said that I wanted to move out and get a place. And but we decided that we would take a break for a little while and see what happened. She went to an Airbnb, stayed for a week, and came back. Nothing changed, of course, because nobody did anything different. All it was a break. So that was June, that was July. So then August comes around. We've already had discussions, and we basically, it's just whatever it is. It's over because nobody wants to change or do anything different. So when I left in November, so that's the thing, y'all. When me and Fallon started dating or whatever, she lived in her own stuff and I lived in my own. I got this place, and then Fallon came and was with me pretty much every day. And that's just how it was. Now, do I think that it was the best idea for me to get into a relationship after the breakup? Absolutely not. I don't think it was a good idea. I think that I didn't know that it wasn't a good idea. I thought that it was okay because when I first met her, I felt good. I felt like I was happy. I was free. I felt like, oh my God, I'm finally not in this situation anymore. And I was just happy, you know, or whatever. But then reality hit, and, you know, even if you don't want to be in a relationship, you still have ties to a person, and a person still has ties to you. So it's just hard, especially when there's another woman involved. So soon after the ex found out that I was talking to somebody, she started talking to somebody, 2 or 3 days later. And it was somebody, okay. And so then that was that. I was happy, honestly, for her. I just wasn't happy about the person that it was. And I'm not going to elaborate. And I'm not talking about the person she with now. It was somebody else. So I just wasn't happy about the person that it was. So it made me upset. Because whatever. So anyway, I was still working with her. So I had to see her. When you are just ending with somebody, it's probably not a good idea to see them. Like, I don't think it was a good idea for me to go over there and do videos with her, but people wanted to keep up appearances and whatnot, or keep up the money, not appearances, I'm sorry, the money and whatnot. I personally, from the beginning, was like, I don't want to do videos. I don't want to do none of this, but I did it anyway. And also didn't keep most of the money. So that was something that was stressful for me. The fact that I left, my son left, of course. My son decided to drop out of school. I gave everything to the last person. Even when we were doing videos together, when I was still doing videos on that channel, she was keeping most of the money. And I'm saying that to say, I said yes. So I'm not saying that she stole it. I told her go ahead because I felt guilty and I shouldn't have. So I want to make everything I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you so you don't make the same mistakes I made. I felt guilty. Let me tell you why I felt guilty. What I'm learning from my therapist and what I believe to be true. My mom was deaf. My dad was deaf. And my older siblings were, they left. So it was me, my mom, dad, and my sister at 4 and 5 or 4 and 6 years old. So I don't remember doing this at 4, but when I got a little older, like 7 and 8, I started to be my mom's confidant. I started to be her, I had to help her talk to people, communicate with people, whatever. And my dad was mean to her. My dad was not nice to her. He was abusive. And also my mom was depressed. She was sad all the time. She would go out too because she could get away from him, I think. So she was really unhappy. And I watched that my whole life. I watched my dad be however he was, and I watched my mom be unhappy. So I was always running behind my mom, always running behind her, trying to make her feel better. I remember one time when she tried to do something to herself and in front of us, and then after the the chaos had died down, she called me in the room. This is at 7 years old. She called me in the room, sat me on her lap, and held me, hugged me, and was crying. I was traumatized. So I think, and then that wasn't the only incident. There was a lot of incidents in my childhood. So because of that shaped who I became. Whether you tried not to, whatever, your childhood shapes you. You can change it, but your childhood shapes you, and you can't change it until you go and unlock that inner child and baby that inner child. And so, I started to become this person, and I didn't even realize it. My therapist said people pleasing, and I'm guessing she's right. For me, I thought people pleasing meant I do things for people because I want them to like me. And that's what I thought it meant. But that's not what it necessarily means. I do things for people, did things for people please, because I loved them. And I had this thing, and it's only women. With women, I take the blame. I'm a very accountable person. And let me not say I take the blame. What I mean is I used to just avoid all the time. So if somebody wanted something, now I'm talking about my relationship. If you want this and I don't, you get it, no matter what. If you say this and I don't feel the same way, fine, okay, you get it, you got it, whatever. Because I like to avoid conflict. Don't like to argue. I don't like doing none of that. Let me did it. So, and I still don't like arguing, but I'm saying I wanted to avoid conflict. At this point, I'm not that person anymore. I'm a different person, and I'll explain. But I wanted to avoid conflict. I wanted to give. I wanted to make people happy. I wanted to protect. And I'm talking about whoever I'm with. I wanted to protect. And I wanted you to have what you wanted, but at the cost of what I wanted. And I did this for so many years from my childhood that it didn't even feel wrong until it started to feel wrong. But I didn't know why. I didn't know why I was unhappy. I just knew like what I wanted, but I didn't know that what I was doing was not honoring myself, not giving myself anything. Everything that I wanted to do, I just didn't do it. That's not fair. You can't do that to yourself. You cannot blame, and I don't. You cannot blame anybody or anything that they do to you because you let them do it. That may it be wrong, yes, but, and I'm not talking about when you get physically abused, but anyway, so I had been through, okay, so, and then this year, I remember me telling y'all about the girlfriend I had when I was 17, the one who's no longer here. Just in that relationship with her, there was so much that she needed, so much support, so much everything that she needed. She was so messed up. And I was sitting right there, allowing her to abuse me and different. And I'm telling you, she did some really bad, some really messed up stuff to me one time, twice. And I stayed. So that means something was wrong with me. I just allowed anything. This young 17-year-old child just sat here and allowed herself to be mistreated, abused, and so forth and so on. It changed me. It made me angry because I wasn't angry after leaving my parents. I wasn't angry because I hadn't been directly abused. I've always been like this just want to help, even at the expense or the cost of my own sanity, money, everything. I've given my last dollar so many times. I've given money when I shouldn't have, or I couldn't have. Even on like YouTube, all them giveaways, all of them was because I wanted to give it away. That's not humble. I understand that, but it's my truth, and I'm gonna tell it. Once I started to feel better and started to realize who I was and realize what I had done and realize what I had, whatever, I was like, that's not fair. I shouldn't have given that away. I shouldn't have given the channel away. It should have been split. I don't know how it was gonna be split. But it's okay that I did it. I'm okay with it now, but I did get mad. Like once I healed, I got kind of upset because I was like, wait a minute, I don't feel guilty no more. I only did it because I felt guilty. But it is what it is, It's always been like that. I never have been one to spend a lot of money or buy a lot of things or buy a lot of luxury items. I'm not the person. Never have been. Okay, so after saying all that, I'm saying 2024, and I like that I had some friends that were able to understand and support. Like, I was supported so heavily that it kept me sane, because there were times where I felt like I was going crazy, you guys. I started to break out in rashes just because of, there's different reasons. You end something that you've been in for 13 years that you were just accustomed to. You realize that you realize what went on in that thing, and sometimes you're angry because you're like, why did I waste my time? Why did I waste my time? Why didn't I say no? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? But that was all in 2024. I did all those things in 2024. Broke out in rashes. I mean, I had rashes that y'all didn't get to see. But I had rashes on my eyes, I had rashes on my chest, rashes all over my hands, my arms. I mean, and the crazy thing is, y'all can see this, right? Because of, now there is an increase in cortisol. That's why I got these rashes. It was a stress hormone. And it was just bad. So they're still here because somehow, I guess they've been activated. So once in a while, they'll just pop up for no reason, or I think it's no reason. I took medication. Never taken medication in my life. I mean, I've taken blood pressure medication, but I never took anything else. I had to take a medication that didn't work, took another medication that didn't work, and I took a third medication that didn't work. And I was like, okay, let me stop, because all this shit is doing is messing me up even more. And I feel like it was. I was so angry and this and that, just all kind of stuff. I stopped taking the medication and felt better within about a week. And that was about maybe a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago, maybe 2 months, 2 or 3 months ago. And whether you guys believe it or not, I was messed up that whole time until, I had my days where I was good, but most of the time I just, it was so much that I was dealing with and I didn't understand. I'm thinking about my past. I'm like, why is my past coming up? Why this, why that? Then I got people blaming me for choosing me and telling me that I'm wrong. And I'm not talking about y'all on YouTube. I'm talking about in real life. And I was battling with myself at some point, like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I had somebody close to me, not close, they were close. Somebody close to me tell me kind of that I was wrong. And they didn't say that I was wrong, but they just thought, oh, you should try. I did for 2 years. And I don't feel like any of you, no matter how long you are in something, short or long, that you should stay if you aren't being treated the way you want to be treated. No, it's not fair to you, because what are you going to do if that person, no, So all these things, like 2024 was so hard for me, and something happened at the end of 2024 that changed everything. First of all, I was getting off that damn the medication, but I realized, you know, and doing therapy I'm in therapy once a week. I realized some things about me, about life, about what I accept, about what I do, and it helped me so much. I have changed, and at 44, it feels amazing. Only thing that I mean, and I need to stop, because you can't think about the past. You're not supposed to think about the past. You're not supposed to think about the future. I know that, but it's kind of hard. I just get annoyed a little bit because I'm like, damn, why didn't I just get this 10 years ago? Why didn't I learn this 10 years ago? I could have done something different, you know, but it is what it is. Now I'm finally here, so good for me. I'm still a work in progress, but I see the progress, and it's enormous, and I'm happy. I have small bouts of anger, small bouts of, do I get sad? I don't know if I get sad anymore. Maybe small bouts of that, but it's from, oh, that's what I was gonna tell y'all, the stress. The stress was because I went from, and now I know I said that money is not everything, and it's not. I don't need to be rich, like I said, but I do need to have money, you know, something, especially if I'm working every day for it, you know. So my income went from one thing to a tenth of, let me see. It went to a tenth, and I felt like that wasn't fair, but I didn't do nothing about it, you know. So it is what it is. But that's a reason why I was really stressed out and angry, because I had to do so much extra work for no money, and it was bothering me. You know, that's a stressful thing. Now, you know, I started posting on this channel because this channel pays more than the Just Tasha P channel. And I'm telling you guys all that to tell you, because I don't care. Now YouTube, it's cool. It's fun. I stopped enjoying it a long time ago. Man, I know y'all noticed. I stopped enjoying it a long time ago, but I started to enjoy it again. I really do need to find my place if I'm going to continue to do this. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do this, but we'll see. This is not the end all be all for me. I have skills that are transferable, and I have skills that can go different places. So I'm gonna give YouTube 6 months. I'm gonna give YouTube 6 months. And if YouTube goes the way I want it to go, yay, for real. If it doesn't, you know, then it's time for me to do something else. Now, at this big age, at this point in my life, if it doesn't serve me, if it doesn't make me happy, well, I'll say this, if it keeps me from my internal happiness, it doesn't belong. I'll try, but I'm not going to allow myself to be unhappy because I'm 44. I've already done it. I'm not doing it again. Don't allow yourself to be stuck in a situation, in a job, in a friendship, in a marriage. Don't allow yourself to stay somewhere that is driving you crazy or that is breaking your spirit. That's the most important thing, because once your spirit is broke, I'm gonna tell you how hard it is to get that son of a bitch back. Very, very hard. And you may not ever be the same, but you might be better. This is 2025, babies. This is 2025. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with 2025? I vow to be honest, no matter how much it hurts. I vow to honor myself first, like I've never done before. I've never put myself first. Never. And I think when people, nope, don't say that. And I finally do. It feels good to put yourself first. And it hurts to not put yourself first. It feels bad. It's frustrating. You're annoyed. You like it. Put yourself first. Make it easy. I love y'all. Bye.